Have you ever found yourself saying, I did not sign up for this? You've done the inner work, you've set intentions, and you've tried to stay positive. But still, life hands you situations that feels the complete opposite of what you've asked for. You left wondering, why is this happening again? And that frustration, that feeling of powerlessness, it's not your fault, but it's a message, one that's taking you to look deeper. We so often hear that we need to let go and surrender and practice acceptance, that these are the keys to flowing through life and softening that resistance. But what does that mean when we're faced with something that we didn't want? Often, the very experience that we try to avoid, being alone, not having enough, feeling unseen, are the ones that keep showing up. Not because we failed, but because we're still holding onto a subconscious imprint rooted in old fears and survival patterns. I witnessed this dynamic played out in my life in a deeply profound way during my little boy's health crisis. One moment I was moving through the rhythms of life, and the next I found myself at home overwhelmed and caring for a fragile little patient. My boy was hooked up to feeding tubes and required constant medication, and it was intense. In the midst of this chaos, I didn't fully understand what was being activated within me. It was only much later that I began to realize what was at play. I had a powerful, unmet internal need, not to give nurturing, but to receive it. And this need traced back to childhood, to a wound that I hadn't recognized before. Though I was raised in a loving and happy home, there was a moment in early childhood that left a strong imprint on my nervous system. I experienced a very real and deep sense of abandonment. Nothing was done wrong, but the child in me felt the disappearance of my entire world, and that sense of absence echoed throughout my whole life in consistent ways. And in my son's crisis, I unknowingly created a situation where that deep longing for nurturing was mirrored back to me. Did the situation soothe that need? No, I felt completely overwhelmed by his needs. But through that overwhelm, something essential was revealed to me. It was only when I began to heal that I could see it clearly. The experience wasn't just something that happened to me. It was something that happened for me. Unconsciously, I created a reality that brought that hidden need to the surface, and I could finally meet it with compassion and begin healing. Through this experience, the nurturing that I longed for all along became my pain until I no longer could ignore it. And that's when I began to reflect and search for relief and understanding and for truth. And the more I began to experience that process in small everyday moments, recognizing how my life gently revealed what needed love. And as I learned to trust more in smaller ways, the more I was able to trust when bigger challenges came along as well. And this is the deeper truth. We all carry similar core needs. We long for love, we long for safety and connection and validation, but our life stories express it in different ways. And when we open to the idea that life is working for us and not against us, even our struggles become sacred, because now they become part of our becoming. This is how powerful we are. We create from our internal reality, even when we're not aware of it. And when we carry fear of being unseen, unloved, loneliness, our subconscious try to protect us. And in doing so, it places that fear at the center of our focus. But life mirrors our energy. So we ended up attracting exactly that what we try to avoid. That discomfort that arises is not punishment. It's a mirror, a reflection. And if we investigate it and feel into what it awakens in us, we uncover what we need. And then we can shift our beliefs and change our focus and aim our intention towards what we truly desire. Like pulling back a bow with aligned energy. It changes the direction that the arrow will fly. And that's where breathwork became a lifeline for me. In each session, I learned to surrender in a space where I felt physically safe, and I learned to trust the life force energy guiding me. I built a new brain pathway, not to tolerate discomfort, but experiencing how, if I can move through that, how it transforms into lightness and relief and freedom. And that practice on the mat began to change how I meet life itself. Now it's much easier when discomfort arises to slow down. It's not just an action, it's actually a remembering what the outcome of that is. And I meet myself with gentleness and I notice what's been awakened, what meaning I've given it. And in doing so, I reclaim my power. And I no longer need the world to treat me in a certain way for me to feel safe. So I actually become the one who makes myself feel safe. And that is really what self-love is. Not performance, not perfection, but the willingness to meet every hidden part of ourselves with honesty and compassion. Even the parts that adapted long ago to feel worthy. So if you've been stuck in patterns of pain, confusion, or self-judgment, just know this. You are not broken. You're just remembering. And the more you meet yourself with presence, the more your life will reflect love, safety, and truth back to you. I don't have the answers to your challenges, but I can support you to trust your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, and feel safe on your path and find your way back to your life's guidance, your life's purpose. And that is where empowerment begins. If you want to learn how to navigate life in this way, then connect with me so you can start your Journey to Thrive program. It's a structure and strategies that you can apply to different challenges on your way forward. We're always on a growth edge, and as we go, we all have new challenges which take us to a better part of ourselves where we grow, where we heal and evolve. I'd love to connect with you.